All right. I'm so proud of you for getting out of your comfort zone and contacting your people. I think we made some really good plans with who you were going to contact. And so as you continue to follow up with them and support them, I'm excited to see how that goes. And that will be something you'll continue to do. Once you get those 10 people going, then you'll contact another 10 people and you'll make a list, right? And that isn't, it's crucial to the growth of your business. It's crucial to the growth of or finding builders. It's just really important to always be talking to people. So we are going to work today a little bit on the idea of sharing your story. Here in the book, it's on page 35. It says your story is the most important thing you have to influence your mission, message, and movement to create the kind of income and impact you're capable of. So I want you to really look through this and think about your why. Again, we're kind of going back to your why, what brought you into this. That's all going to be a part of your story. And I hear a lot, it's a very common doubt that we have when we're starting this business, is everybody already knows about doTERRA, or everybody that I know already has an account. And while that is true, sometimes it's not always true. Or they maybe know about doTERRA and what doTERRA was 7 years ago, but it has changed a lot. So I want you to think about your personal story, because that is what is going to attract people. People are going to join your team because of you, not necessarily because of the product. The product is going to have a large part of it, but they could go to anybody to get doTERRA product, right? They could go to anybody else, but the reason they're going to come to you is because of who you are, what your story is, how you're serving those the people that you're working with, etc. You can have two stories, and you can bring them together, but depending on the time, think about what product do you have a testimony of. I feel like making sure you have a testimony of the product is so important. If you don't really believe in the product, I don't think it's going to last very long. Mostly because I've seen that. I've had a lot of builders who are really excited about the business side of it. There's a lot of potential there. They like the natural wellness side of things. But when it comes down to it, they just don't have a testimony of the product, and it's hard to stay. It's hard to sell something you don't believe in. So really think about what your product testimony is. If you feel like you don't have a testimony of the product, get one. So this is a challenge I did with one of my builders, and it was really fun. Her and her husband were both very supportive of each other and doing this. And so they were going on a trip. And during this trip, I incentivized them. I said, the person who can use the products the most during your trip, I will pay you $50. And when you're newlyweds and you have no money, $50 is enough that you're like, that is a fun date night. Or that's a week of groceries, whatever it would be. They both felt pretty excited about that. So I said, before you leave, think about, because sometimes it's just hard to get in the habit of using these things and using them in our daily lives. But being a product of the product is going to make or break it. At least in my opinion, it makes a big difference. So this week, I want you to try and think of all of the things, and maybe not think of all of them, but maybe think of 5 new products that you can try this week. Whether it's trying the shampoo and conditioner, or maybe simply adding some essential oils to your shampoo and conditioner to see if you like the way it makes your hair smell. Maybe it's trying a new skincare line or some of the face wash. Maybe it's maybe you have a lot of pain somewhere in your body, back pain or whatever, and you've tried Deep Blue. Let's throw turmeric in on that, see if that helps. Or let's try the collagen, see if that helps make a difference. Whatever it is, I want you to think of some things that you can use. And maybe it's not for you. Maybe it is something that you'll use on your kids every day, like the probiotic. Or maybe it is something that you can share with your spouse or your neighbor. Something that you can incorporate daily in your life. I want you to try that. really hone in on getting a testimony of the product. And then I want you to text me the things that you're going to try and do this week. Okay. And if you get this done, well, let's do a whole week for this one. So let's take a week, try these things. And I want you to like text me before and be like, I'm going to try copaiba because I feel like I have a hard time sleeping. I'm having anxiety and I have some pain. Okay, so you're going to try copaiba for all 3 of those, which is a great option. So I want you to kind of text me that, and then I'm going to ask you some questions back to monitor your levels. You know, let's try and give you like a little mini survey. And then in a week, let's see if it helped you. And if it does, guess what? You have a testimony of copaiba. And if it doesn't, then you're going to learn that sampling process really well on yourself, and we'll try something else, okay? So really just figure out what your story is. Think about where you were before doTERRA, whether that's for the business. Maybe where are you right now? Think about that. Where are you right now? What do you want to change? What do you want your life to look like? Do you want to be able to stay home with your kids? Maybe you don't have any kids at home and you want to be able to travel, or you just want more purpose. Maybe are you sick of working 2 jobs? It is a tough economy right now, right? We all feel like anything extra is going to be helpful. And then what do you want to achieve with doTERRA? What do you want your business to look like? What kind of successes would you like to see? And sometimes this is a hard thing to think about. What kind of success do you want to see? Write that question down and try and answer it. If you can't answer it, I want you to chat with me, because that was an extremely difficult question for me, as I learned that I had a fear of success. I had a fear of having money. And I don't think those things always go completely away. I feel like I still struggle with those occasionally, or they kind of glimpse back up into my life, okay? Let's see. How do you see the doTERRA business changing other people? That's a huge one for me, especially when it comes to like building in Latino communities, and for everybody, but especially I know it can make a big difference for people in other countries. But think about what you want your success to be. Is it for you? Is it for somebody else? Is it for several? Is it you want to pay for your kids to go to college, or you want to maybe it's just to show your kids that they can do whatever they set their minds to. Really think about that. These are hard things sometimes to just really hone down, and that's okay if it's not. It will continue to refine itself through the process, but really think about those things. Write them down, and let's chat this week.